Alright, welcome back guys. I hope that first day went pretty well. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to review what you guys did last time. So this is asking you to name the vertex, the axis symmetry, and give solutions on your graph. Whenever we finish this lesson on Friday, we will review all of the stuff that we've done so far. So the first thing I want to do is my vertex. In order to do that, I need to do x equals negative b over 2a. We're going to look at our equation. Our b is -4, our a is 1. So now we're going to plug in those numbers. -4, you got to watch your signs. 2 times 1. I get x equals 4 over 2. So x equals 2. That's the x value of my vertex. To find the y value, I need to plug that back in to my equation for the x's. So I'm going to say y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 minus 12, and I'm going to solve it. I get 4 minus 8 minus 12. You get a -16. So my vertex is 2, -16. So hopefully we remember how to do that. So if I were to graph it, I'm going to write my graph up here. X, Y. Can I graph the general idea? 2, -16 is going to be way down there. The next thing is the axis of symmetry. And the nice thing about this is you've kind of already solved it. So your axis of symmetry you should get x equals 2. It should be a line. So on x equals 2, I'm going to draw my little dashed vertical line to know that on both sides of the equation I should have 2 points. Or both sides of that line I should have 2 points. Now the hardest part that you guys kind of struggle with was finding some other points. So there's two things you can do. You can factor or you can make a t-chart. If I factor, I'm going to get x squared minus 4x minus 12. What's going to multiply to -12 but add up to a -4? So when I do that, 2, -6, 3, -4. This ends up working. So I'm going to write x minus 6, x plus 2. Now I'm going to use x equals 6, x equals -2. So on -2 on the x-axis, I'm going to plot a point, and on x equals 6, I'm going to plot a point. So now you have that they're both 4 units away from the axis symmetry, so they should be the same distance up or down. That's 2 points that'll make it pretty easy. If I did a t-chart, I could do x and y, find a couple other points. Remember, your vertex is the middle, guys. So if the vertex is the middle, I can use that to my advantage. Let's use 1 or 0. 1 will be the same as 3 because they're both 1 unit away from 2. 4 will be the same as 0 because it's 2 units away from 2. Remember, the vertex is the middle, so if I go left or right, I should get the same value. So if I plug 0 into my equation, I should be able to get another value. So I end up getting -12, which is going to be the same as the 4. So 0, -12, I can plot that point. 4, -12. And look at that, you guys have the general shape of your parabola. That's just a rough sketch of it. You can always graph it on Desmos to double check, but you need to know how to do this mathematically. The t-chart will always work. The factoring works sometimes. Axis symmetry and vertex are always going to use that equation. Alright, so hopefully you paused it. I'll throw a question here to where you have to answer it, and you can double check your answer whenever you're done. If you still have questions over this, guys, please let me know. Please send me an email. So today, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about vertex form. But before we do that, I kind of want to explore some transformations. So this says use your graphing calculator on Desmos to graph y equals x squared. So I'm going to go do that real fast. Y equals x squared. Now I just want the rough sketch. Notice where it starts. It starts at 0, 0. And then it goes to 2, 4. And -2, 4. So whenever I do those coordinates, I can plot that. 0, 0 is where I start. 2, 4, do you have that one? Negative 2, 4. And you have the general shape of your parabola. Again, that's called the parent function. The reason why it's called the parent function is because that's what we base it off of. We're basing everything off of this function, and we're going to transform it from that. All right? So now, we're going to transform this parent function. So what I want you to do is go back to Desmos, and I want you to put this equation in. So I'll go back with you. We'll do that one real quick. Y equals x squared plus 3. If you can't find the exponent button, it's probably in here, guys. You're going to use that a squared to put the exponent in there. So now notice that's the blue line. What did I do from 0, 0 to get up here? I moved the equation up 3. So that's a transformation that I want you to see. And we've kind of done some transformations like this before, so this shouldn't look too confusing because we have seen something very similar. So if it's on the outside, I'm going to say I'm going to move the equation up 3. So I'm going to take my points that I had up here and I'm going to move them up. 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to use 2, 4, move it up 3. So it's going to be 2, 7 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can plot a point on the other side. That's what your parabola should look like now. So now take a second. What do you think this graph's going to do? You are going to put it into Desmos and check it out, but just try and guess and figure out what it's going to do. I'm going to end up moving this down 4. So I'm going to take 0, 0, move it down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take 2, 4, move it down 4, and negative 2, 4, move it down 4. So now that's that transformation. So if it's on the outside, it's going to move it up or down. Now, I want you to put this into Desmos. So we're still basing everything off of that parent function, guys. This one right here, you type it in. Notice, where did our vertex go? We moved it left 3. So you're going to take every point that we've had from our parent function and we're going to move it left 3. So I'm going to take my 0, 0 and go left 3 with it. I'm going to take my 2, 4 and go left 3 with it. 1, 2, 3. I'm also going to do the same thing with negative 2, 4. And I'm going to graph it. Notice it's lying to you. So if it's in the parentheses, it's lying to you, you're going to go left 3. So now take a second, think about this one. Where are you going to go? Go ahead and try and graph it and see if you can get it right without graphing it on Desmos. I'm going to end up moving everything right 4. So I'm going to take my 0, 0, move it right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to take my 2, 4, move it right 4. I'm going to take my negative 2, 4 and also move it right 4. I'm going to plot it and graph it. Alright, so now the last one I want you to try without even graphing it on Desmos. So can you predict what's going to happen to this? So I'm going to take that, I'm going to move it which direction? Hopefully you said right 3 and up 2. So I'm going to take my 0, 0, move it right 3, up 2. I'm going to do the same thing with 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go right 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 2. 1, 2. I'm going to plot my points. Do you see how we use the parent function to graph that parabola? So I want you to try the same thing with this one. And you can always graph it on Desmos to double check, but you need to understand the transformation. So this one I'm going to go left 3, and down 1. So I'm going to take 0, 0, go 1, 2, 3, then down 1. So that's my new vertex. So now I'm going to take 2, 4, go left 3, and down 1. Do the same thing with negative 2, 4, and graph my parabola. So hopefully you guys understand the transformation part of it. Now, the next question is, on your packet, do these rules work on other types of functions? So we're going to do the first one together. So I'm going to go back to Desmos. I want you to graph it. That's what you're going to do with this last page, because I'm not going to go through it with you. So we're going to go to Desmos. We're going to exit out of these. And I want you to graph y equals, people are like, where are the square root buttons? So click your keyboard down here in the bottom. There's a square root button, and I'm going to put x in there. So now notice, there's a couple of points I can use right here. 1, 1. I can also use 4, 2 to graph my parent function. So I'm going to go back to this and graph my parent function. So 0, 0 is where it started. I went to 1, 1, and then 4, 2. So you guys would graph it. That's what we're basing everything off of. So the first one is always going to be the parent function. So whenever you do the rest of these, your parent function is always the first one. So that's what we're basing everything off of. I'm just showing you what the last page looks like. So now, what do you think we're going to do with this? Think about what we've done so far. If it's on the outside, which direction is it going? In this case, it's going to go up 3. So I'm going to take every point that I plotted and move it up 3. So 0, 0 is going to go up 3. 1, 1 is going to go up 3. 4, 2 is going to go up 3. I plot those 3 points, graph it, and now I transform my parent graph. I moved it. Same way here. If it's inside a square root, inside parentheses, they're lying to you. So think about which direction it's going to go. It's going to go left 4. So I'm going to take 0, 0, move it left 4. Take 1, 1, move it left 4. I'm going to take 4, 2, move it left 4. And plot my graph. So the last page is all on you guys. I want you to graph the parent function, so the first one in all of these. Make sure you use that keyboard to find the symbols. And then I want you to graph the transformations. Try and do the transformations without using Desmos. So this last page you're going to submit on Google Classroom. So you're going to take a picture of it after you get it done and submit it. Make sure you answer this question as well. How does a number in front of the quadratic affect the graph? So try and think about what that number is doing to your parabola. Is it making it smaller, bigger, wider, whatever it may be? So think about your graph and what it's doing to it. I went ahead and put the parent graph in here for you because we've done it already. But don't forget, x squared is your parabola. If you guys have any questions over this last page, please let me know. There is another video for you to watch. It'll have your homework on there. There's 10 questions. I'm going to work through some of it with you. I still want you to write down those 10 questions, and then I'm going to have you do a couple by yourself, and you're going to answer those and submit that as well along with this page as your homework for today.